Greetings. Here is another video about Chrooting. It's not also the Chrooting approach for isolating the system somehow. There is an approach from Chrooting which is you can isolate the system. We can do it one day, but it's still about accessing the system whenever it's broken. So this time I'm gonna try to use arch-chroot script on Arch Live ISO. You are able to chroot to your installed system using the command arch-chroot. We can find it on the wiki of Arch, the wiki of the installation. There is the command. Whenever you run it, you are on your new system, you enter it, and you can run the commands on it, the commands that you want to run before your first booting. Before you boot the system for the first time, there are some commands that you would like to run to finish the setup of your system so it's ready the way you like it. It can be anything. Some people probably install a network manager. It's also run to install grab. So in our case, that command is not only run before the first boot of Arch Linux, but it's also run to repair the system, especially for Arch Linux. In this case, I'm gonna try to run that thing on a non-Arch Linux system. It's non-Arch based distro, which in this case is gonna be Linux Mint, and we're gonna see if such thing is possible or not. If it's possible, we will reduce the process, or instead of running the full process of Chrooting, which I have done a video that you're gonna see in the card somewhere here on top, or maybe you will find it in the details of this video, the description. Instead of running all those commands that you find in general in Gentoo AMD 64 handbook, or also it's used I guess on LFS or something, you simply prepare an ISO or a bootable USB thumb drive or a CD of Arch Linux. You put it on your computer and you boot on it. After you boot on it, you run this command. I'm still not sure if this thing can be done or not, but we will try. Instead of the cumbersome method that I have shown, which is the full method of Chrooting without the Arch Linux script, this Arch Linux script can be a good way for any person to Chroot. Okay? So this is a virtual machine. This is Linux Mint. It's installed already. We can run lsblk. It's installed. So first of all, you or me, any of us, should do something like this. You go to, you choose. Wait, I don't have Arch Linux ISO here. I'll prepare it and then I'll be back to you. Alright, so Arch Linux is supposed to be ready for me, and I need to find it somewhere here. So it's here. So for you, if you're running a virtual machine and you want to try this thing, you can just select the ISO the way I did right now. If you aren't and you want to try this method on your, whether it's successful or not, you're gonna see at the end of the video, of course. You can prepare a bootable flash drive or a bootable CD. You plug it, or you insert it on the drive. You plug it if it's a USB flash drive, and you insert it if it's a CD. You insert it in the optical drive, and then you reboot the system, and then you hit the key that takes you to the boot menu. So in my case, I'm gonna select it by pressing open like this, and it's gonna be here. I'm gonna prove to you that we have it already here, optical drives, and we have it like this. Okay, it's here. And then you reboot the system, or you start the system. After you put the disk, you make sure you start the system, whether you reboot it or if it's off, you turn it on, and then you go to the boot menu the way I'm gonna show you now. In my case, it's by hitting F12. For you, it's by hitting something that depends on the manufacturer. And then you choose the CD-ROM. I press enter here. So the boot to the ISO of Arch Linux is successful, but we still don't know if we can run arch-chroot or not. I'm gonna prepare or I'm gonna check the wiki of Arch to make sure that the commands that I'm gonna run are correct, because I'm afraid I'll forget one of them. Although they are not so many, they're one or two. Generally, the first one is by mounting your root file system somewhere. It can be mnt or something /mnt, and then you chroot to it, standby. Alright, so you check which partition you have. In my case it's /dev/sda3. Let's check if we can make this thing bigger. No, we can't. I'll prepare, maybe I'll do an SSH connection, I'll check and then I'll come back to you. Alright, I established the SSH connection to the live Arch ISO. As you can see it here, to install Arch Linux, this is the motto, or this is the message that you get once you boot your Arch Linux live ISO. I made it like this so you can see clearer the screen, the commands that I'm gonna run and everything. Alright, so the first thing is to define or decide what is your root file system. What is your root file system? When I say root file system, it means the partition where your system is installed. You know that already. So it is, in my case, /dev/sda3. So we mount /dev/sda3 on mnt, and then we check what's on mnt. The boot is there also. If your boot partition is separate, you mount it. After you run mount /dev/your root partition on the folder that you decide, it can be mnt, it can be anything. You mount your boot partition, let's say it's /dev/sda, on the boot which comes after the mount point of your root file system. If your root file system is on mnt, your boot should be on /mnt/boot. Okay, I hope this is clear. And then arch-chroot /mnt. This looks like it worked, but we are still not sure yet. This is the neofetch. Okay, let's update or something. Apt install lf, for example. Yes, it's working. So if you wanted to chroot using Arch, let's not install lf ranger, just to prove that this thing works. Yes, it works. Let's install it, why not? My mint, you have seen that it's working. So if you wanted to chroot using the script of arch-chroot, you need to prepare the ISO of Arch Linux live, and then you boot to it, you run the command to mount your root file system, and then you simply run arch-chroot to your root file system mount point. Is it clear? You don't need to run all the commands to chroot, all the commands that I have shown in the other video. All you have to do is to chroot using the Arch ISO. If you don't have the graphical user interface, it's not a problem. I still don't know if there is the script on Manjaro, for example. We can try one day. If you want that, you can comment down below. If you want us to try to use arch-chroot or check if it's available on Manjaro live ISO, comment down below. Okay, so I hope it's clear. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. If you faced any problem during this thing, you can like and share, and you can comment, sorry. I hope it's clear. As I said to you, you have to simply run two commands. I'm gonna show you again. You run the first command, which is lsblk. You decide what is your root file system. In my case, it was /dev/sda3, and then the next command, after you mount it like this, you mount your /dev/sda. If it is on SDA, let's say 3/dev/SDA3 on the mount point. If you have a separate boot partition, you mount it, let's say it's 10/dev/SDA10, and then you mount it on the same mount point, and then you add the folder of boot which is on your root file system. Okay. Afterwards, you simply chroot. You run arch-chroot or arch-chroot, the way you call it, the way you like to call it, to the mount point of your root file system, like this. Afterwards, you are on your broken system. When you are on your broken system, you can run all the commands that can help you solve the problem that you're facing, like update, let's say grab update. I forgot what is the command for Ubuntu and Debian based distributions for updating grab menu. Update grab, I forgot, update, yes, grab usually on some other distributions you will have, yes, it's not grab mk, but it's something else. So in this video I'm not gonna show you how you can update grab menu or something. I just wanted to show you that you can chroot to your broken system using arch-chroot, which is available on arch-iso. We wanted to check if we can do that, and in fact we can do that. So you can do that, okay? I guess that's it. And don't forget to subscribe, and see you in another video.